Yeah, y'all. I've been sitting up here. I did a video earlier today about I forgot what the hell I said in the video, but I think when I go back and I watch it, I talked about how I'm very. Sometimes I think I'm oversensitive with trying to learn the nature of my mind, my mindset. Want I'm trying to find out, is it the things that I do? Is that's the best way, is to find out what you are, because I'm thinking about the scripture in the Bible where it says, examine yourself to see whether you be in the faith. You see what I'm saying? Examine yourself, test yourself to see whether you're of Israel, and all these different types of things. You know what I'm saying? Because those types of things are the most important things you would ever hear in your life. Nothing else on this planet matters more than having have been in right standards with God. And because I thought about the video that the brothers put out. They said, not all Israel is of Israel, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, and stuff like that. So I don't take light of that at all, because that is a serious matter. Because like some of the brothers were saying, just because oops, I here, turn that off. Let me get this off. That music is in there, you copyright real quick. But you know, that's what I want to take a moment to talk about, is to take time to talk about what's on my chest, and get it off my chest, and you know what I'm saying, because it's very important. Even though I feel like in my mind I fit the curses, not I mean, being separated from my family, being in and out of jail and things of that nature, and just living, just pretty much not not having a lower poor poverty rate within your family. You know what I'm saying? So when I look around and see that, I can pretty much give me a general idea of what I could be. You know what I'm saying? But I spend daily, constantly trying to go to bed with these scriptures on my mind, trying to examine myself to see who I am, where I'm at, what is my purpose of being born on this planet, what is like what is this here? Like what was the purpose of my father? Well, I know it was for the pleasure of getting with her and having, you know what I'm saying. Well, I'm keep choosing to keep certain information disclosed due to the fact of the family members or whatever. But one day I'll be able to share it, you know what I'm saying, the rest of it. But at the same time, I don't take light of that. When I read the Bible, I read it as though if I'm lost, you know what I'm saying, if I'm not even worthy, you know what I'm saying. That's how I read the Bible when I look at it, like, I'm nothing, that's how, because I guess you struggle with not really knowing who you are, and it's painful. But at the same time, I think about, all I can do is just think about the scriptures where it says these curses will be upon us for a sign and for a wonder, and things of that nature, even though I still have a passion to teach it, even though I notice that I can be teaching it sometime, and bringing out the scriptures to the best of my ability, and you still feel that energy, that doubt creep in, but I still go head on anyway. I still push myself to go ahead. You see what I'm saying? But I be constantly just, sometimes I think I overdo it. I check my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm overdoing it. I don't know what it is, but I would hope that one day I can be the king, be the ruler in the Jerusalem, when God set everybody in every nation back in its place and stuff like that. But I do want to go on the streets and do all this good stuff, and not just be just here talking about it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I'm saying? So I asked myself, what is my purpose? What was my the purpose of my father sleeping with my mother? Is there a purpose for it? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? You know, like, because I hear people say that God doesn't. Uh, it's not a coincidence. How do you put it? It's not a coincidence that certain things happen. You know the way that it do. You know, it's not a coincidence. Then I hear the scripture be read, men's goings are of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Um, I tune into the videos every day. You see what I'm saying? I tune into the blogs. I'm listening to them and stuff like that. And the only thing that's going through my mind is something real serious, like, damn, I hope I don't descend from this. You see what I'm saying? Things of that nature, you know? And, you know, I think about it every day. You know, ever since 2018, you know, I still think about it. You know, I still get up every morning, tune into the videos. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I do everything in my power and just not try not to get caught up in the feelings, you know, because you can't go on feelings. But I still go on anyway. I still wake up, and one of the things that I try to do too is just try to just say a prayer and talk to the Most High God, because like they say, everybody go around and say shalom, shalom, and Israel and stuff. That doesn't mean that, like they say, that person is really of that. You see what I'm saying? So when you're saying that shalom, shalom, and stuff like that, you got to know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take lightly of none of that. You know what I mean? Because in due time, if you are real, if you are really sincere and serious about what you're saying, just like me, if I'm serious about what I'm saying right now, in due time it'll be revealed. You see what I'm saying? You have you ever heard people say you can fool God, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time? You see what I'm saying? And it's not. That's like, even if I was in a position to fool somebody, I wouldn't want to be in a position, and let's just say some people say you can get away with it or I can get away with it. I still don't want to anticipate wrong, whether if I don't care if no one sees me, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You do it. I want to do it, and I choose to do it because I really want a real relationship with the Most High, and going out and doing everything the Bible says, you know, because I can say that I'm not really doing everything perfectly by going out and sharing the word like I should. I do it, but I can always, what I'm trying to say is that I wants to improve. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I wants to improve, because I don't believe in getting on my camera just talking about other people. You see what I'm saying? When I got a big old mote in my eye, you see what I'm saying? So my thing is to make sure that I'm right, and that I can tell you who I am, and I'm in right stance with the Most High, because there's a scripture, I think it's in the Bible. It said in the Apocrypha, it says it is better to uh, it's better to know a few. Is you who knows many scriptures. It's better to know many, not know many scriptures, and know a whole bunch of scriptures and transgress the law of God. And he who has little knowledge transgress. I forgot how it's actually read, but I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna read it. Let me see if I can hear myself first of all. Hold on. Okay, I think I could. Yeah. Um, you know, all that stuff about how you look and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't, none of that stuff matters to me. You know what I'm saying? What really matters is that being on that 12 tribe chart, coming from one of those tribes, the 12 tribes, being an Israelite or whatever, that's really what's important to me, you know, because it depends on your salvation. Because, like I say, if you don't know where you come from, how you gonna know where you're going? You know, and so it's very important. All those things are important for salvation. I got one video 8 hours ago, 7 hours ago, and 3 hours ago. Yeah, but I just thought I'd just come and just say that I did a video. What was that video? Hold on, let me go. Let me just go back on the other channel. Just give me a minute. Let me go back on my other channel. Prove that our people is in a stolen land. I put WILL, but I was supposed to put our O. Let's see here. That's OUR our. But I put WILL when it's supposed to be O OUR. I mean our. Okay. I just decided that I'll try something different. That's a video that I did 4 hours ago. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The one I just did 2 hours ago is 12 minutes and 19 seconds. Proof that that's the one I just said, that our people is in a stolen land. And I quoted from Exodus 21:16. And I went to Genesis, and I touched on Genesis chapter 40 and I think verse 9, when Joseph said, I was indeed stolen out of the land of the Hebrews. Then I didn't really go through all of the chapters, but I touched on Genesis 39, where when Joseph was made overseer, God showed him favor with his enemy, one of the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the African nation, and how he was sold from one nation to another one, went into captivity into another captivity. Joseph was sold to the Ishmaelites for 20, I think it's like 20 pieces of silver, I believe. And then the Ishmaelites sold Joseph to the Egyptians. So that was the second time he endured slavery. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what happened. Then when the second time, he actually ended up going to prison because a woman had accused him of doing a violent crime against her, saying that he raped her and all that kind of stuff. And that sounds like a lot like what goes on in our world with our so-called black people, black men today, And if it ain't the men, it's the women being accused of something, and then they just much harder. I can, as living on this planet, which I'm going back to, it's taking me back around to the beginning of what I said in the video earlier. Like if you look at our society, you know what I'm saying? Now I can definitely can prove that, you know what I mean? When you look around and you look at, just look at things in nature of how your people are being treated. You see what I'm saying? Just look at the poverty rate in amongst the African, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Look at the poverty rate is very higher than any other nationality of people on this planet. And you can look at that and take it from there. And then you compare it to the Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46. The curses will be upon us for a sign and for a wonder, and it will be on us for a wonder. You know, like you know, say, I wondered about that, but I didn't really know. But I was wondering, you thinking on it. You know, like, you know. So when I think about that, that kind of give me a sense to that. You know, it kind of give you a sense of like. A good general idea. Okay, this could be, it could, it's possible, it could be talking to me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because he did say that the curses, as far as when it comes to poverty rate, hatred, and stuff, he said that these people will live in a community. These people will be in fatherless homes, widow homes. These people will have Stockholm syndrome. These people will go through all kinds of Stockholm slave syndrome, Stockholm slave drone, if I said it right. These people also, you go in the neighborhood, they will be lacking in transportation. They will be people that's on the government assistance, government help, WIC, welfare, food stamps, all these different types of things. So when I look at that and when I take a look at all those different characteristics, and then I compare them to how, like, if a crime happened and you with a so-called white person versus me being with about me as a man of color, without a shadow of a doubt, I know it's going to be just a little bit harder on me in a way. And so when I add all those things up and put them together and add the math up, it pretty much tells me, you know, it's a possibility that you could be part of this, part of that, you know. That's what really give me that sense of probably like, okay, he's talking to me. Because that Bible, I said he could be talking to me, because this Bible is not talking to everybody. It ain't. It's not. It's only talking to the Israelites. If you read it from Genesis to Revelation, now you can read it, but it's actually me. If you read it, he said, "Blessed is he who read and they that hear." Hear means those that who read it and understand it, because you have a lot of people who read the Bible, but they really don't understand what it means. Just like people push that doctrine, God loves everybody, God loves everyone, God this, we all are the same, and I'm knowing that it's bullshit when they say that. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at all those different things, you know what I'm saying, living in a single parent household, like I said earlier, you know, when I sit down and I think about those things, because he said also another identifying mark. He said the struggles. You know what I'm saying? The struggles that we go through, that our people go through. I say, so it kind of gives you a sense of hope and say, you know, it's a possibility that he did say this Bible will be talking to these people. So, because these are the only people that have to go in the store. These are the only people that go in the store, right? And when you paying for your food, you realize like, damn, when I hope and pray that it don't go over. I hope and pray that it don't go over. But you just have a feeling, a good feeling that when they finish ringing that up and adding it up and adding the tax to it, it's gonna add up more than what you get than the money that you uh that you have. Or you don't, it's gonna add up more than the money that you don't even have. So sometimes God, by the grace of the Most High, He allowed he allowed somebody to take the slacker for you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have the means and the funds to pay for something, like if somebody asks, well, how much is a down payment on a car? We already know we can't even afford a bicycle. So when I think about all those things and I add those things up and I compare them to so-called white people, all the other nations, when I think about myself, the only thing that's going through my mind is, no, I can't afford that. So I said, you did say that this is who you'll be talking to. You see what I'm saying? You let me know that you're talking to me because you said in the Bible that these certain group of people will be in a condition. You'll see beer bottlers, wine bottlers all over the place. You will see drugs in our community, invested area. You'll see like invested areas. You know, when you go in the hood and things of that nature. He said these are the places that you will find the real Jews at. You will find the real Jews in these conditions. So when I look in the neighborhood, like the neighborhood I'm living in now, and I see so-called people of color, black people in these neighborhoods, and I don't see no other race of people. I just see people look like me and darker than me. Then it kind of give me a general idea. Okay, this book is talking about us. Then you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking in that area. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, when you look at things and you think about it like that, and then I look at the fact of being rejected, I used to try to. I ain't gonna lie. I used to try to look for women when I was in my 30s, early 30s to my mid 30s, till I got in my late 40s. I mean, late 30s. My bad. My late 30s. And so I was rejected, and I didn't take the rejection very well. Sometimes I would say foul words, disrespectful words, because a girl didn't want to talk to me, this and that and the third. But as I got older and I came into this truth, I started to like understand why, and I was still hurt, I was still mad, and so on and so forth. But it didn't bother me as I got older. It didn't bother me as bad as it used to. Like right now, it would bother me if I get rejected, but it wouldn't bother me as bad as it used to. You see what I'm saying? Because I really realized, like when I first got the breakdowns of slavery in 2018 and stuff like that, I guess that's the reason why I feel like it can resonate. Yeah, like, oh, it makes sense. Okay, I've been rejected before by a lot of women. I've been rejected, by my, you know, I've been rejected. And so when I looked at that and I thought about it, I understood the slave syndrome condition of it. Then that's when I started to realize that I kind of went off. I didn't know any better or something like that. So because I was looking for one when I was in Georgia, when I was up there with my mother in Georgia. So I used to approach women, and like main place I approached a woman was in Walmart. I used to like walk up in there, and like sometimes I would go in there and I would be buying stuff, and I'd be like, well, this is my opportunity is to seek for a girl. You see what I'm saying? Like in the store. So I didn't want it to look like I was on those stalking type jump or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. So a lot of times I guess I said, let me go up in here and shop around. But sometimes I wasn't shopping. I act like I was shopping, just to be able to say something to a girl. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I tried, but most of the time I just got rejected. So eventually I end up like I got rejected so much and it hurt me. Well, I say it did. I felt bad. I ain't gonna lie. Rejection, it hurts. I ain't gonna lie. It does hurt. I'm not gonna even lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stand there and act like that shit was cool. Or I just basically held it in. Sometimes I would lash out at the girls and say disrespectful things, which I kind of regret too at the same time because uh, when I would say hurtful things or be cussing them out, sometimes I get mad with them because they the girl didn't give me a chance or whatever. You know, when you're in your 30s and when you're young, you're gonna kind of act stupid and you're gonna respond to things in a stupid way. You see what I'm saying? But as I gotten older and when I came into this truth, that's when I started to realize that, that's when it opened my mind up about the slavery thing. I said, oh, okay, I can relate to it now. That's the reason why it was happening like that, is because of the slavery. Because, to get, I said, when they broke down, curses should not be in the field, curse, her eye shall be evil toward her, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, her eye shall be evil toward her husband. Then I started thinking about why the black woman, I mean, why they call the police on a so-called black man or something like that, and this and that and the third. And then when I got the breakdowns, the brothers, when I watched the video in 2018 and they started breaking down how the black woman, so-called black woman, felt about the black man and how they felt, why they felt this way toward us. That's when all of those flashbacks with the coming, oh, I was seeking for a girl, and like, oh, okay, this is the reason why I was getting rejected then. So I just took it up on myself, is to say, well, you know what? I'm interested in this. I want to learn so I can go out and tell people this here. You know what I mean? I'm interested. It makes sense to me because, hey, I experienced rejection a whole lot when I was in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? I did. So I'm not as mad with the sisters at all. I'm not mad with the sisters and I don't feel as bad about it now as I did back then. I didn't understand. It was like I had the curtain over my mind. I didn't understand back then. So of course, when you don't understand, you're gonna respond in an ignorant way. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna respond in an aggressive way. And I was aggressive when I was mad, mean, nasty, rude, uh, reacting to it. You see what I'm saying? And by them not, I guess I scared them, and so some of them threatened to get they, I didn't know that a lot of them was probably, they could have been with somebody or whatever or something like that, and I didn't want to get in trouble because they can get you in trouble at the same time. So um now I deal with it differently. So if any of the people, all of the girls that I came in, the sisters that I came in contact with years ago, and a lot of the brothers that didn't understand me, maybe that the way I went about it, and they didn't understand me, and they was working for like law enforcement and stuff like that, and things of that nature, you know, um, I stand here and I say on camera, if the way I went about it in an ignorant way. I apologize to my people. You know what I'm saying? If they ever get this video, you see what I'm saying? I apologize for the way that I actually came across. Because I didn't want, because I was still in the church, in the Adventist church, doing it during that time. And I went I did it ignorant. I was ignorant doing it. You know what I mean? um just like, okay, the example of the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul was killing Christians, right? He said he did it zealously. He was zealous. He had a zeal. You see what I'm saying? He had a zeal. He just didn't like have the knowledge. A lot of people know how to break it down better than me. You know what I mean? But he had a great zeal for the Most High. You see what I'm saying? And so, if any of the people, I think I had one girl in a grocery store before I left and came back home to my own hometown. She was a sister. She was a light skinned sister. But prior to me, before I even back in contact with the sister, I said, Lord, if you allow me is to run back into that sister, whether it be in the store, anywhere, because I responded in an aggressive way, and I was just mad mean, because, well, the sister, I got rejected by the sister. So, um, I finally met up with the person, to make the long story short. And I had an opportunity is to apologize to the young lady and tell the young lady that I was sorry for how res- just because the person didn't want to talk. Uh, I got rejected or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Then I saw her in the store in Food Depot. It's called Food Depot. It was in Georgia. And I walked up, I said, "Do you remember me?" And I think she said yes. I think she admitted that she said yes. I said, "I just want to let you know, for that day, I apologize. I mean, I'm really sorry." It was a so-called black woman. I said, "I'm really sorry for how I approached that situation." You see what I'm saying? Because when you're young, you ain't really thinking. You see what I'm saying? You're not really thinking about the consequences and how you can regret things and how it can burn you up or eat you up on the inside and stuff like that. So when you start to realize that, those things, that's where I really became more careful and cautious and sensitive and grief and hurt because you're not really around these people is to actually say that you're sorry. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm so glad. Maybe it was a good thing that they did create YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Because during this time, that the early part of my life of doing these things back in 2000 because I came on to YouTube and started recording. I recorded my first video of May the 5th, 2013. That was the first time I ever put myself on social media recording myself. But before 2013, I was just watching YouTube, watching videos that I knew nothing about the Hebrew brothers and being on the streets and things. I knew nothing. I had no clue of it. I don't think I did. I don't believe. But I was during that time, 2012, 2000. I started seeking for a girl in 2004. That's the early part of 2004 is when I used to approach her, but that was a different era during that time when I was in my 30s. I'm 47 now, you know. And all throughout my early 30s and my mid 30s, going into my late 40s, I was actually seeking for a girl. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't work out well. Most of the time I just got rejected, like I said. And then finally, I think this was in 2018, I believe it was. They had one girl that didn't know me from Adam, and I really was kind of surprised that she approached me. And she walked up, and I didn't know who she was. So I thought about all of the time that I got rejected. So I, in essence, turned around being being filled with a lot of grief because I've been rejected. So what I did, I in essence dished out the same thing, which is probably wasn't wise for me to do that. You see what I'm saying? It put an aggressive spirit in me to where I started treating them or treating her the way that I was rejected, which I would say was wrong. You see what I'm saying? You start giving the same pain back. So I reacted from the pain that was passed on to me. The sisters would respond to me in pain in a negative way. And I was weak and I didn't have the energy enough is to handle it like I'll say, well, you know what? I'm gonna take the higher road and respond. They ain't responding to me nice, so why should I respond to them nice? That's how I was looking at it, and I actually was responding to them in a nasty way, rude way. You see what I'm saying? And then I projected that same energy and passed it on to a female who actually tried to approach me. You see what I'm saying? Because I was thinking about, okay, they hurt me, it made me feel bad. I'm gonna turn around, project that same energy onto them. That was the same energy, the negative energy that they projected onto me. You see what I'm saying? And so that's how I was kind of looking at it. You see what I'm saying? And it was probably maybe a couple of years before I came into this truth. You see what I'm saying? Because during that time too, I also was saying things like the Bible is the white man's book. You see what I'm saying? Like I would be reading the Bible, but I had no understanding of who Esau was. I wasn't nowhere near that, you know, until I came. If it wasn't for me, uh, listening to my Hebrew brothers on the streets or whatever, if it wasn't for me doing that, I wouldn't understand nothing of the breakdowns of the Bible. I still would be lost and clueless. I probably still would be saying, I would be calling myself black and all this kind of stuff, probably. You know what I'm saying? I would be saying all those things, you know? That's what I would be saying. But um, but now, as I'm in my 40s and I done learned more about the faith and things of that nature, and you know what I mean, the importance of it and stuff, it's like I believe I think about a woman, but I'm more so trying to get my soul, my spirit right with God, and making sure that I am a chosen one, and making sure that my spirit is right with the Most High God, and that my spirit is 1,400 and 1,080% in the way that God wanted to be. You see what I'm saying? So right now, that is my biggest concern right now, is as I'm in the era of this right now. You know what I'm saying? That the most important thing is knowing that you are Israel, this and that and the third, and that is my biggest and most concern. When I do see a girl, the first thing that's going through my mind right now, I'm worried about what's in her head and in her mind. You know what I'm saying? That's the the of the stage that I'm in right now. You know, as you get older, that's how you see it. You know, I mean, for me, you know, I can only speak for me. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it. I have a whole different definition of a woman when I see a woman now. It's like, and I'm being honest about it. I'm not lying. I'm not, you know, the information that I'm saying now. I'm not lying about it. You see what I'm saying? Uh, my biggest concern with me is if I'm of Israel, then I'd be like, whoa, you know, then you know what I'm saying. Then that's the next step. You know what I mean? But my main goal is make sure that I'm right in teaching. If I come across a female, this is what I present to them. That this is what's important right here. This is the most important food. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you are Israelite, knowing that you know what I'm saying. That's what's important to me. It has nothing to do with, you know, how many women other people can. I mean, you know, all of that stuff, that type of stuff. You know, when I was into the Bible, and like I felt like I always have been kind of like in the Bible. I really have since I was like 22 or whatever. 17 is actually when I started hearing it, but I couldn't read or write at all. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in it ever since, you know, once I found out, you know, that's when at 17 is when I actually became a 7-day Adventist. You know what I'm saying? Then I found out that it was created by a man, a so-called white man by the name of William Miller, which was a so-called white man, you know, Esau. So um, they set up the Seventh-day Adventist Church was finally established in 1863 in Battle Creek, Michigan. And then I realized that the church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, it was a movement that started by the so-called white man in the early 1840s. You know what I'm saying? They started the movement and they went on into the time and they talked about how they you know how it how it came about and how it developed, you know, the Seventh-day Adventist Church and how it developed and stuff. And I just became a part of that. And I was very devout. A lot of the people that I went to church with, they can tell you how very devout. I was very devout. I was very sincere when I was in it. I was faithfully coming every week. I was really devout in it. But when I met the Hebrew brothers and things of that nature, and I got the breakdowns from the scriptures, then I, like, before I even met the Hebrew brothers back in 2014, I was sitting in the fellowship hall, and I think I done said it in my comment, John. I said, um, what did I say? I was sitting in the back of in the fellowship hall in the Seventh Day Adventist Church in 2014. Something just told me to get up and get out. I said, why are you still here? Just get up and get up out of here. So that's what I did. I got up and left, and I did not come back ever since. And different ones, they was asking me. There was uh, one particular sister hit me up on Facebook one time and said, we miss you at the church. Some of them, the brothers, would meet me out on the streets, and they would say, what's going on? We ain't heard from you in a while. I said, oh, okay. I said, I'm doing good though. I can kind of tell they wanted to ask when was I coming back. Knowing that I had learned the breakdowns of who Esau was, I kind of gave them a general idea of why. And some of them would listen to me and like, oh, okay. You have a good day. And some of them, they would hear me and be like, well, okay, it was nice talking to you. It was like they was trying to hear up, and they wanted to cut it off and like get away, because I guess what I was, the information that I was sharing with them, I guess at the time, a lot of the thing, they couldn't take it because it was too strong for them, at the time. And different ones, I can tell they kind of looked at me and viewed me a little different. So it's been a journey. I'll say it's been a journey, man. Yep. Yeah, it really has. It's been a journey. It really has. Yep. It really has. And it really has. It's just been something, man. And so anything that I left out, I'll come back and I'll talk about it in another episode or whatever. I'm glad that I hopefully this whoever listens to this video, they can be inspired by this testimony, whatever. Maybe somebody can relate to it like I can. And yeah, it's been something, man. And I'm gonna head up out of here. I'm gonna see